All right, what's going on, everybody? Sorry for the little delay. It's been a long, crazy day right now, and I'm trying to get everything together. There's been a lot of running around, but we're here now, right? And it's time to kind of talk about what happened with these Knicks. We've lost 2 games in a row, and we just come off of a tough loss to Indiana. I'm not going to say it's a bad loss because it's not like we were winning and then we lost it in the final seconds and it was a heartbreaker. This was one of those that we were losing for quite some time, and we couldn't basically get back into it close enough to even take a lead. So I don't know, man. It's not looking too good right now. It's looking tough. There's a lot of stuff the Knicks have to work on. They got to clean up some things on offense. They got to clean up some things on defense. We'll get into it right after this. Yeah. It's a tough one, man. So the Knicks lost to the Indiana Pacers 111-98. It's not much you can really say when your team is losing. You got to just kind of chalk it up and deal with it. You got to hope that, next time around will be a little better, make some adjustments, and just hope for the best, man, because nobody likes to lose. Losses aren't good. But I will say this: after the Knicks lost to Toronto, I was feeling down. I was feeling out. I was feeling bad. But I think it kind of helped me to realize that this is a long season. The Knicks are not a perfect team. They've got some issues they got to deal with. It's just not going to be an easy ride. That's kind of the way the season started off. It made us feel like, hey, man, we special. We better than a lot of teams thought. We're better than maybe we thought. And it kind of, I think, Sim asked the question on the Nothing But Knicks show if we thought that maybe we thought a little bit too much of our Knicks team. We got a little hype because of how they came out the gate 5-1. And I think, the more and more I think about it, the more and more I feel like maybe that is the case, because we were feeling good, man. We were on cloud 9, riding high. We were looking at these teams like, you know what? Even the close ones, the close games where we almost lost, we did that to ourselves. We didn't have to worry about it. We lost to Orlando because we just didn't come with the effort. We took them lightly and they beat us. I mean, I think it's a little more than that. It's more than that. It's the fact that we also have some things that we need to work on as a team. There's a lot of holes on this team right now, but it's not things that can't be fixed. It's some things that can be fixed easily, and we can work on that and then maybe have a better effort and have better results. But then there's other things that may require a personnel change or at least a different look out there when we're on the court. We got to really look at this like in a vacuum, like put it all like in one of them glass globes, like the snow globes, and just shake it up and see what it really looks like. Because right now the team, they go from not giving good effort one day, right? And then you're saying to yourself, wow, these guys didn't try out there. Then they play Indiana and they give the effort, but they still lose comfortably, by the way, because Indiana shut down their offense. It's like it's one thing after another right now. But once again, I'm still glad that it's all happening early. We got some time to work on things and fix things before we get really into the deep of the NBA and into a lot of these games that might wind up, being crucial for us because there's a lot of basketball to still be played. So, let's just hope for the best, man. Let's hope for the best. Let's hope that the Knicks understand that they're a much better team than what they're displaying out there. They correct some of the issues that we've been seeing as fans, and obviously that they're dealing with as a team. And I hope Tibbs is willing to kind of work with them. Not revert back to the old Tibbs. The old Tibbs is just screaming and yelling, not listening, not understanding that he's done some things that need to be changed, or he needs to expand upon how he's doing things currently, because this team's got some issues, man. We got some stuff we got to deal with, and they gotta work on it and fix it right away before it gets to be one of those habits that we can't change. But let's take a look at the box score, man. Let's see what's going on in this game and see kind of what the overall outcome was. I mean, I you guys have pretty much, kind of seen a lot of this from yesterday, but let's take a quick look at it. So RJ Barrett finished with 23 points. And the thing about RJ Barrett is he had 4 fouls for quite a long period of time. And his shot wasn't really falling. He was kind of struggling early, but then he turned it on and got hot. So it kind of makes me think, like, imagine what type of output he could have given us had he not got into foul trouble. That foul trouble really kind of cost him. Do I think that would have really changed the outcome of the game? Probably not too much, because we couldn't stop them, from shooting these threes with their bigs, like, what Miles Turner did to us, and what that other center they got. I think that other center hit 2 threes as well. I'll get his name in a minute, but that's something that is tough to overcome. And but we'll talk a little bit more about that as we go along. So yeah, RJ had 23 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, and he was a minus 14. And that is kind of something we haven't seen in the last couple games from RJ. Not a minus number in the plus or minus. He's been positive the last few games, and it's kind of surprising to see that. So that just shows you how bad we're kind of playing as a team. That even RJ, who has been playing really well lately, was a minus 14. Julius had 18 points, 14 rebounds, 3 assists. It's typical type Julius numbers when he's not having a great game. The assists are usually a little higher, but he was a minus 14 in the plus and minus. Mitchell Robinson had 3 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, and 3 blocks. Now, the 3 blocks is nice. It's funny. When Mitch plays better, he doesn't get blocks. I don't know. I don't understand it. And he was a minus 15 on the plus and minus. Evan Fournier had 14 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. Pretty quiet game. He was 5 for 12 from the field, so he shot okay from the field, but he was 1 of 5 from the 3-point line. That's not good. He was minus 7 in the plus and minus. Kemba Walker had 4 points in 28 minutes. Let me read it again, because even I have to take another look at it. Kemba had 4 points in 28 minutes on 2 of 11 shooting from the field, 0 for 5 from the 3-point line. He had 4 rebounds and 4 assists, and he had a steal, whatever. He was minus 11 on the plus and minus scale. Nerlens came back. It was nice to see Nerlens out there. We've been hoping that we were going to be able to see him eventually and sooner than later. And, last night was the night we got to see him. So that's good. That's a good sign. He played okay. Did he play the way that we think Nerlens can play normally? No. But let's not forget, Nerlens hasn't played basketball since last year. He didn't play in the preseason. He hasn't played in the regular season. So he's got to get his body right. He got to get his conditioning up. That's going to take a little time. But he finished with 2 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists in 17 and a half minutes, almost 18 minutes. Automatically, when you look at this stat for Nerlens, you say, wow, okay, He did okay considering he hasn't played, but it makes you look right at Mitch. You know, that's what stands out. Everybody can see that. I think it's been talked about by other people. You know, Mitch played 27 minutes, almost 28 minutes. He had 3 points, 6 rebounds, and 2 assists. Nerlens played 17 minutes, had 2 points, 6 rebounds, and 2 assists. Mitch. We got to talk about Mitch. We'll get there in a minute. Derrick Rose, he had 13 points, 2 rebounds, and 3 assists in about 20 minutes, 19 and a half minutes, which this is a typical Derrick Rose game. Like, this is what you expect from Derrick Rose on any given night, around 15 points, 13 or 15 points, around there. Usually he's around 14 or 15. And then when he's going good, he can give you a little bit more, maybe the 18 to 20 range. And if he gives you more than that, then it's a blessing. It's gravy. We'll take it. Alec Burks, 10 points, 3 assists, 2 rebounds, 3 steals. That's good. The steals was good. And that was in 21 minutes. He was probably one of the better shooters on the court because he was 50% from the field and 40% from 3. And his plus or minus was a little higher than Rose and Nerlens because he was a -6. And then Obi Toppin. Now, this is one of those things where I still don't understand what Tibbs is doing. I don't quite understand why Obi's not playing more because he seems to be contributing. Obi had 7 points and 2 rebounds, and he played almost 11 minutes. And he was 3 of 3 from the field. So he's perfect from the field, 1 of 2 from the line. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with what Obi did out there. And if anything, the eye test tells me that Obi should be playing more minutes. I think in the type of game that we had here where all these guys are struggling and playing poorly on the offensive end, Obi should have got about 20 minutes in this game. But, you know, that's not what happened. So, and then lastly, we got Emmanuel Quickly, who had 4 points, 2 rebounds in 13 minutes of play, almost 14 minutes. He was 2 of 5 from the field. He didn't shoot a 3, which that's kind of surprising. Not even 1 attempt from Quickly. Missed to chuck it up. Hey, you know, look. I think maybe everything is getting to him. He's got it in his head, too, that he's got to chill and relax because he has not been that consistent. So, but once again, it's still another bad performance. Even with him not shooting threes, I mean, he was out there for almost 14 minutes. He gave us 4 points. We kind of rely on Quickly to be one of those people that gives us that added scoring presence off the bench. And 4 points is not cutting it. I don't know what's going on lately. I mean, the other game, Derrick Rose had 4 points. Kemba Walker had 4 points in a starting role with 28 minutes. Like, this is bad, guys. This is bad. We are suffering from a high level of offensive futility, as Clyde would say. Yeah, this is not good. I hope they can get it together because I'm not liking what I'm seeing on the offensive end, man. Let me take a quick look at the chat real quick, see what's going on here. Knicks 100, salute. Good to see you. Always pleasure. Streets is buzzing. Salute, CT. What's going on, man? Yeah, tough one. Scotty P in the building. What's good, Scotty P? Good to see you, bro. It's time for some energy. It's time for some Tenacious D. It's time for McGrimes. Pow. Yeah, man. I think you may be right. We may need that. That might be what we're missing right now. We might need some McGrimes out there. Yeah, I like that nickname. That's good. That's a nice little combo. Good job by you. We'll see. Shots weren't going down, and RJ needed to be on Miles Turner with him being ridiculously hot from 3. He would have had that shut down. Dude shoots like 2 of 10 average, not 7 of 10. Well, you're right about that. That's true. Yeah, I don't know, man. But even though I like the idea of somebody like RJ trying to guard Miles. I mean, maybe he would have to play up on him like really close, really tight, and not let him be able to move. Which maybe that's how you do it as a smaller player. And then you know what? Forget what I was about to say, Scotty P, because you know what? That could work. I'm just thinking of the height difference and how Miles can shoot over him. In a catch and shoot scenario, if Miles is standing there, then nothing RJ could do. But if RJ can be up on him before he gets the ball or something like that, then yeah. Because I've seen Marcus Smart, who is a short guard. I've seen Marcus Smart guard centers before, which was crazy to me. And he did a great job. Well, Marcus Smart's a beast. Be civilized in the building. What's going on? Be civilized. Salute, brother. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in. As always, appreciate you. Thumbs up. Awesome seeing you on the MBK panel. Repping SFK. Salute. Thanks, Scotty P. I appreciate you, man. Yeah, being a part of this Knick community has been great. All the people that I've met, all the different podcasts and different shows that I've been fortunate to be on. My co-host John, he's been fortunate to be on all these different shows as well, like Streets is Buzzing with CT and Uncle Freezy's Blorange Tears. It's been a lot of love from all of the content creators and everyone involved. So it's been a great thing, and fortunately for us, we were able to really connect with the MBK fam and get a a good bond together. So it's they've been very welcoming to us, and we've got a good thing going right now, and hopefully you guys will appreciate what we're doing. So I guess mark your calendars for next week, next Thursday at 8 p.m. You'll see myself and John. We're going to be doing a new show on the NBK network. It's called the NBA Report, and we're going to be breaking down what's going on in the Eastern Conference and how it relates to the Knicks, and then giving you a little bit of info that maybe a lot of us don't pay attention to. I know personally, maybe I'm a little too busy sometimes. I don't see what's going on with a lot of the teams in the NBA. So this is good for me as well. So hopefully it's something that people get excited for and tune in. And, we want to keep bringing you guys new and original content. So just stay tuned for that. That's next Thursday at 8 p.m. on the NBK network. Streets of Buzzing. Smash that like twice on both accounts. Yeah. Yeah. Appreciate you. Tibbs substitutions have been suspect recently from this 500-foot view. No, listen, whether it's 500 feet, whether it's 2 feet, whether you are in the coaching huddle, his substitutions have been kind of wild, right? At least to my eyes, I agree with you, Scotty P. They've been wild lately. So you're not wrong when you say that. Streets is Buzzing. Salute. B Silla. Tibbs rotation will come around. He's still learning the squad as well. Randall learning multiple things such as leadership. 3 new players in the starting lineup and being the number one option. So everyone is learning. Now that's true. There's a lot going on. There is a lot of, I think you said it really well there, Be Civilized. There's a lot going on with this Knick team. And for us as fans, we don't always see all of that. Like we look at them, we're like, okay, they're practicing together. They've got their roles for the most part. They know what they need to do. They should just go out there and play ball, and it should all just work beautifully. Well, obviously that's not the case. It doesn't always work that way. And we're witnessing it now. Like there's different things that keep happening to this team. One game they don't play with any effort. They get beat by Orlando in bad fashion. I mean, once again, Cole Anthony had 16 rebounds from the guard spot. That can't happen. Then you play the Toronto Raptors, which is a really good team who's played us very tough over the years. We've always had battles against them, and you don't give full effort for that game as well. I mean, you gave more effort against them than I guess Orlando, but it still wasn't enough effort. So automatically you're thinking that I'm not giving, we're not giving enough effort. So that's the reason why we lost. Well, no, now we see that they played, hard against the Indiana Pacers. They gave maximum effort on the defensive end. At least it looked like that to me, because the way they was running around, Derrick Rose was blocking shots. Alec Burks he had 3 steals. Like, they were being very active. Sometimes, all your defense and everything you do, you don't necessarily see a steal come from it or a block come from it, but your hands and your activity is all around. So you're definitely doing things to affect the game. And what happened? They still lost. And they lost pretty solidly to the Pacers. Not like it was, a 1-point game or something. It was a commanding lead from the Pacers. They won outright. The Knicks could not crack. Once Indiana had that lead, they pretty much never really relinquished it. So it was always playing catch up. NBA is a marathon, not a sprint. That is correct, Be Civilized. You're right. It's going to take some time, man. We can't rush the process. The process is there for a reason. There's something to be said about an 82-game season and how the best teams, they really do take it one game at a time, and they work through all their problems and issues. And the Knicks need to do the same thing. They got to keep going out there and working until they can get it right, because this is not the same team we saw start the season. This team is now going through some pain, some growing pains of being together and dealing with things that they're not good at. So, facts, B Civ. Yeah. CT's in agreement. My guy, I hope all is well, my brother. Yeah. So, I mean, that's what's going on right now, guys. There's a lot to be said about the positives that came from this Knicks team the first couple games, but it seems like they've kind of made up for that in the negatives lately with the way they've been playing, with their effort. And now my feeling is, I know there's been a lot of people that have been talking about this game against the Indiana Pacers and the Knicks defense and how we allowed Miles Turner to hit 7 3-point shots. I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. You got a 7-foot guy shooting 3-point shots like he's Steph Curry. Then we already took a look at what Mitch did out there on the court in comparison to what Nerlens did in less minutes, and it's telling. I was giving Mitch, I was shooting Mitch some bail, saying that he might have been just caught up in limbo, like in between two spots. I'm supposed to be this rim protector to protect the paint, and then I have to guard Miles Turner, who's on the 3-point line shooting threes. How can I be over here when I'm really supposed to be here? So I understood that, and I said, you know what? That's a problem. That's something he's kind of stuck with. So I don't know how he can get through that. But you know what? I can't give him that excuse now. You know why? Because when I think about it, it's much better for him to try to stop those 3-point shots and deal with it if guys are going to get into the lane and shoot twos. You know what I mean? Because 2 threes right away is 6 points. 2 twos is 4 points. It's just math. It's simple math. It's how it is. So I'm going to say that Mitch probably could have did a better job on closing out and dealing with Miles Turner. And if he was confused or didn't know exactly what his role was supposed to be, if he should be stepping out that far, then he needed to talk to his coach. Or maybe it was the situation where Tibbs didn't want him doing that. Then that's poor coaching on Tibbs, and he just allowed us to get slaughtered from the 3-point line by the tallest player on the court, who is not that great of a 3-point shooter. You know what I mean? So I don't know. If you keep thinking about it, it starts to get a little frustrating, infuriating. But it's this loss wasn't on Mitch. Mitch is just a symptom. This is. I feel like I'm a broken record with this. Mitch is a symptom of our issues as a team. Julius Randle, I thought, hustled a lot more last night than he did in the Toronto game when Onanubi was giving him the business and running around the court doing whatever he wanted. But I saw Randle play a lot stronger, a lot more. And it was points like when the game was over, you saw Randle still kind of hustling. At that point, it didn't really mean anything, but you saw him trying out there. So that wasn't the reason. That's not the issue here. That's not why they lost. They lost because they just, allowed themselves to be shut down by Indiana's pressure. And they got ran off the 3-point line, which is what we all saw. And they just couldn't do anything after that point. Like I don't understand what our adjustments are offensively. I think we concerned so much about the defensive end. Like, what are we doing to fix the offense? Like, what's Tibbs' plan in order to kind of help us get back to what we were doing early in the season? The Knicks shot pretty well from the paint. They took the most shots from the paint in this past game against the Pacers than they've done in any of the other games. So obviously there's things that we were doing well, but we were forced to do that. But that's not our game. Our game is kind of built around the 3-point shot. So what is it that they can do now to get back to shooting those threes? Is it just running some pick and roll? Is it running more pick and roll? Is it bringing in different personnel options? Like, we already kind of know the different rotations that Tibbs goes out there with. We have the starting lineup. Then he brings the Rose quickly, Burks, Obi, and then now Noel lineup, right? But maybe it's one of those where he's got to mix it up even more. Maybe it's Fournier, RJ, and then Obi, Noel, and Burks. Maybe it's got to be something like that to kind of, see what you can get from that type of lineup, where you don't really have a true point guard out there on the floor at the time. And because, Fournier can handle the ball a little bit, RJ can handle the ball a little bit, and Burks can handle the ball a little bit. So it's not like you won't be able to move the ball. It's just all about how efficient it's going to be. Man, I don't know. I really don't know. I'm hoping that they can do something that allows them to come out there in tomorrow's game against a tough Milwaukee team, even though that Milwaukee team is going to be handicapped between injuries and health protocols, all the stuff they're dealing with. They don't have a lot of players out there. So, we should have an advantage, but they just play better basketball than us, as a team, even with them not having all their players. If they had all their players, then, it's a totally different story. At least we have a chance to really steal this game because they're going through something while we fix whatever, issues we have as a team. So we'll see what happens. I'm just hoping that somehow the Knicks are able to put together, another little set of wins, because we just lost 2 in a row. What we don't want to do is lose 3 in a row. It's not the end of the world, but it's not something you want to do either. You don't want to have to figure out a way to stop the bleeding and allow it to take control of what we got going on as a team. So let me take a quick look here at, the matchups. Let me see here. One second. Okay. Right. Okay, so let's take a look at the matchup for tomorrow night's game against Milwaukee. So, mind you guys, Milwaukee is terribly depleted. They are in really bad shape. I mean, their starting lineup is consisting of George Hill, Grayson Allen, uh, Patrick Covington or Pat Covington, Thanasis Antetokounmpo, and Giannis Antetokounmpo. I mean, that is not a sexy starting lineup. That's a rough one, man. That is tough. Like, I don't know what they're going to do with that, but the Knicks have to win this game. To me, this is a must win. Now, mind you, this is what the starting lineup looks like at the moment right now. Something could happen tomorrow, and maybe one of these guys or two of these guys that have been out comes back, and they're able to suit up and play for Milwaukee. So that might change things. But right now, we're talking George Hill, Grayson Allen, Pat Connaughton, Thanasis Antetokounmpo, and Giannis Antetokounmpo. That doesn't really scare or put fear into my heart as a player. I wouldn't think, and as a fan, I'm like, you know, the Knicks should be able to beat that team. We'll see. Anyway, so I know one of the quick looks here, you might say, wow, if that's who they're playing, I mean, then that means like maybe Connaughton is going up against RJ. RJ should be able to kill him. Well, yeah, that's a possibility. And if I added a fourth matchup, that would be it. Then I definitely think RJ is going to get a good amount of points and have a good game against him. But I'm thinking more. I'm focused on Kemba Walker and George Hill because Kemba Walker had 4 points in that last game. Very poor shooting display, and he didn't do much to help us. And we already know that he was just like a matador. He played that matador defense, as Clyde likes to say. So he needs to redeem himself, and I expect him to come out and want to atone for what happened in that game. So I expect Kemba to have a big game against George Hill, even though George Hill is no slouch. I mean, he's still a serviceable NBA player. I think Kemba should be able to get the better of him. And then next up, I think Julius against Thanasis. Now this is tricky, guys, because they're so strapped that this is their starting lineup. Thanasis and Giannis, they've been flipping around. So Giannis has played the 4, or he'll play the 5, and Thanasis has played the 5 for them. Thanasis Antetokounmpo. I can't even believe I'm saying that. So he has played the 5 for them as well. That's how bad it is. So, but right now it looks like he'll be playing the 4, and Julius will be playing the 4. So that's the matchup. But it could switch. And I think Julius should be able to win this easily. Thanasis is not horrible. He's a decent defender, but he can't guard Julius. And offensively, we've seen him light us up. I think he put up 30 points on us, which I was disgusted at one time. But he's nothing to worry about offensively either. That was one of those fluke games. So I think Julius should definitely come out there, play with the same intensity he had last night, but hopefully a better result will come of it. He'll be shooting better, and he should have his way with the Thanasis. And then lastly, you got Mitchell Robinson versus Giannis Antetokounmpo. Now, if this was last year's Mitchell Robinson, the skinny Mitchell Robinson, this could be interesting because Mitchell Robinson could get up and down the floor pretty well. I mean, no one can really stay with Giannis. Giannis runs like a gazelle, man. He's like a point guard in a center's body. So I don't know what we can say about this, because we know Mitchell is 30 pounds heavier. He doesn't move as fast. Maybe he will move faster as games go along and as his conditioning continues to ramp up. But right now, he's not moving like that. So I don't know how he's going to deal with Giannis. I'm hoping that he can figure out ways to stay in front of him or stay around him so he's close enough to affect his shots. But he can't get into the whole fast break game with Giannis because Giannis likes to push the ball up the court fast. He gets a lot of easy transition baskets because of it, and he gets a lot of easy transition baskets for his teammates because, if he's pushing the ball up, eventually you try to combat that by getting guys to hang back and stay there and run with them. But he just dishes the ball off to one other trailer that's at the 3-point line, and they get easy 3-point buckets out of that. That's something that the Knicks are going to have to deal with. They're going to have to figure out a way to combat his speed and his hustle. If there was ever a guy that I think could possibly win this game by himself, it's Giannis. I mean, we've seen what he did in the playoffs last year after being hurt. He came back and played like he was healthy, but he was still, dealing with an injury. Like his will to succeed and be good in this league is on another level. I wish all the Knicks players had that same drive, but they don't. You gotta. That's people's makeup. That's who he is as a person. So just blessed with that. Let's see. Be Civilized said, "Oh, hold on one second. I apologize. I'm gonna come back to you, Be Civilized. Hold on. Be Civilized said up here. It's the second time around when we play all these teams that beat us to come out with vengeance, and I believe Pacers, Raptors will get torched next time we see them." Yeah, man. I hope that's how it used to be in last year. I mean, last year when myself and John were talking about the Knicks, we used to circle on our calendar. We'd be like, okay, the Knicks play the Pacers again. This is the revenge game. Oh, the Knicks play the Bucks again. That's the revenge game. And usually the Knicks will win these games. So I agree with you on that. Scotty P, 1 and 2 positions defense is getting smoked and not able to rotate well back to offense. Plenty of good film to watch. Yeah, they've got a lot of stuff to take a look at and figure out, what they're doing wrong out there because it's not looking pretty. It's not looking pretty. Yeah, definitely looking good to the rematches. Yeah, so you're looking forward to those rematches, huh? Yeah, I bet. I am too. I hope the Knicks are too. That was kind of the biggest keys for the Knicks last year. Anytime they lost a game to a certain team, when they played them again, they came out and they played better. Even if they lost again, the games were close and the Knicks had a chance to win. Because like we lost to Miami, I think we lost to Miami for the season series, but we played them well each time, and we just lost in the the final minutes of the game because they executed a little better than we did. We didn't beat hurt Pelicans. Are you saying that we beat a healthy Pelican team, or are you saying we beat the Pelicans, but the Pelicans were hurt? Right. I get what you're saying, Knicks 100, because they had injuries. Zion was out. Brandon Ingram was out. They had a couple guys that were out. So, yeah, I see what you're saying. Worldwide L, salute, brother, salute. Always a pleasure. Last season, our losses in a row was 3 games max to our highest winning streak was 9 in a row. The object to become a great team is when you only lose 1 to 2 in a row before and bounce back streak. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I get it. So keeping the losses to a minimum and obviously, the win streaks, those can be as big as you want them to be, as long as you can keep playing good basketball. Big task at hand. Good night, everyone. It was fun while it lasted. Salute, man. Salute. Oh, okay. All right, that changes things. Because we know he's a good player. He's a solid basketball player. He and when he wants to, he can really affect the game. So Knicks 100 says Portis is back for the Bucks. So yeah, That is helpful for them because that already changes that matchup. So it's probably Julius against Portis because I doubt you start Thanasis over Portis. I mean, come on, let's get real. Scotty P says Giannis shoots the three. Another limbo Mitch sighting. Interest to see how Tibbs schemes up switches. Yeah, that's a problem because Thanasis was working on that three ball in preseason. He was looking like he's ready, man. He's ready to take that next step. Just looking at an update, sorry, on my phone, and I saw a message that from Mitchell Robinson. He wrote, "Got something to prove." So Mitchell Robinson on his Twitter said, "Got something to prove." Okay, so obviously Mitch knows what's going on right now. He realizes that his play hasn't been that great as of late, so he knows he's got to do something to change that. And he's about to go up against another tough task in Giannis and dealing with Bobby Portis at times too. So yeah, man, he's got to get his A game. He's got to step up. You got to get right. You can't go out there and half-ass it, as people would say. You got to give your full effort. What else we got here? Oh. Big task at hand. Hit us with the second time around. Oh, I know that song. Yeah, that's right. Knicks 100. Porter 6'10" and can shoot the three like Turner. Yes, he can. You're right. Although Portis doesn't usually shoot from around the top of the key, the top of the perimeter. He usually likes those corners. Maybe that's a little easier to defend because it is closer to the rim. So maybe if Mitch is kind of cheating both ways, it's a little easier for him to get out there. I don't know. It's this is all tough, man. This is all tough. They're gonna have to figure something out. Maybe it would be nice to see if Tibbs felt like, hey, let's put Obi out there. Let's put Obi on one of these bigs and have him run around and deal with these guys. Because let's not forget, Obi may not be a great defender, but he's a good leaper. He's a good jumper. At least he can jump in the guy's face and kind of affect the shot by giving some type of presence. Because Mitch is getting there late, way too late. And Julius, when Julius tries to help out, he's getting there late too. So I think they definitely gotta figure something out here. Jericho is not. I don't know enough about Jericho's game to say if Jericho can come in the game and affect the perimeter shooting of a big. I don't know if he's quick out there. I mean, he's got good footwork, but I just don't know if he's quick enough to be, guarding a big out of the 3-point line. We have yet to see it. Doesn't mean it can't happen, but haven't seen it yet. Let's see. So I guess my biggest question right now is, if we know Tibbs is kind of stubborn with his rotations, he doesn't like to switch things up. He likes to stay with what he knows or what he feels he can depend on. Does that mean that Grimes and Jericho and Deuce are all going to be going to the G League? Because I think they should. If Tibbs is not going to play them, or at least not going to play them consistently, I'm not talking about bringing a guy in with 6 seconds left in the first half so that one of your starters doesn't get a stupid foul. I'm talking about actually playing decent minutes. If he's not going to do that, then what's the point of having them up here? You might as well send them to the G League so they can play basketball. They're basketball players. Let them go down there and play some basketball and learn on, get some competition going, because there are NBA, players who have played in the league before, older players that are in the G League, And then there's players that are, in the same situation as the, our young guys are, where their team just can't see them playing at the moment, so they send them to the G League so they can keep fresh, keep working on the game, and then when they need them, they can call on them. They don't have to worry about these guys not playing and being rusty and just looking awful out there. So I wonder if that's the case, if that's what's going to happen. I mean, I definitely think Jericho's going to the G League because he is on that two-way contract, and he can only play 50 games. So at some point, I would think you want to kind of allow him to play some of those games and save him, so that you could use him later. Because say you didn't send Jericho down, I don't want to say down. Say you didn't send Jericho to the G League, then it would be a bunch of DNPs on the bench. He would just be sitting there, not hurt, just can't play. I mean, that's ridiculous to me. I know it happens in the NBA, but nah, it just doesn't make any sense. These guys need to learn. They need to keep getting better. So I think that we're going to probably wind up making a trade. I think that there might be one person the Knicks target to say, come in here and kind of help us on the perimeter defensive side of things. So I think that's our biggest question mark right now, that perimeter defense. So, and I know guys have been talking about Lou Dort. I would love Lou Dort. Are you kidding me? Bring Lou Dort on the next plane. Yes. And it's not going to happen. I don't think OKC wants to get rid of that young kid. He's a really good two-way type player, like a really good 3-and-D type player. He can shoot the three pretty good. He has moments where it's not hitting, but for the most part, he's a pretty good 3-point shooter. And his defense is stellar on the perimeter. He's got stellar defense. He's one of the better defensive perimeter players. So and he's young. I don't see OKC parting with him. What could the Knicks possibly offer OKC to pry Lou Dort away? They've got 19 first-round picks in the next 5 years. 19. What? Are we just going to give them another first-round pick that probably won't even be that good? What are they going to do with that? There's only so many, first-round picks you need. Eventually, they're going to have to make some big trades. Now, they are going to make some trades when they're ready and when they feel like they've got the team, back the way they want to. And so them 19 first-round picks are going to start to fly. They're going to go somewhere. I would love if we can get one of them right now from them. Maybe we can send them some young players, maybe a Knox. I don't know why they would want Burks, unless Burks is an expiring contract that they can use, maybe. But like a Knox, I don't want to say it, man. I don't want to think about IQ. I don't want to think about it, man. But I don't know. It all depends on what we would get coming back. If we got Dort and a first-round pick, and we sent them a different first-round pick or something, because theirs will be higher, so we would just get the chance at a better player. And then we sent them Knox and Burks, an expiring contract, and then maybe we'd have to part with IQ. I don't know. Guys. I don't know. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about trades. I don't want to get rid of people. I'm frustrated. I want to see some of these young guys get a chance to maybe help us where we're struggling at, rather than even having to think about a trade. Is this a real question? If it's a real question, then I'll answer it. Then I will say, if you really want to know, if you're being serious and you don't know, then I'm still going to say the best basketball in the world is in the United States. Okay. Australian, EuroLeague, South America. If you're looking at those areas, then I'd say the EuroLeague. I think the EuroLeague is really good. But there's not to take away from Australian and South American leagues, but the EuroLeague is really good, and you get a good mix of players out there. So I hope that answers your question. If it was a real question and you wanted to know, I hope that helped. So Yeah, I mean, I like I said, I want them to go out there and do what they need to do in order to turn this thing around before it gets to the point where we've played 15 games and we are barely at the 500 mark or underneath the 500 mark. We've been there before. I don't want us to get back there. We got to kind of keep this momentum going where we are staying above 500. And that's the only thing I mean by momentum, because I know we've lost the last two games. I mean staying above 500, because this is a tough Eastern Conference, and I'm looking at now. I'm starting to pay attention to a lot of the teams in the league, and it's tough. These teams have definitely gotten better. And Miami, man, what is Miami doing out there? Miami is looking great. Miami is really tough. They're like the best of both worlds, because they got those Miami Heat defensive principles, and then they've got a little bit of Tibbs principles, because they've got Butler there. Butler is from the Tibbs school. So yeah, man, this is it's rough. For Dort, that might be too much. Well, when I don't know, because remember, we're the ones that have a need, and they don't. I mean, at least they don't want to have a need right now. They don't care about their team. They're willing to go to war with these guys and let them just play it out, save some money as a franchise, and figure out what's going to be the next move for next year. So, and they'll just keep building through the draft. It might be a little too much, and maybe there'll be more included in the trade than just Dort. But I look at it like the big prize in that is that first round pick. So that's the key. That's the main thing, Naruto. And shout out to you. Thank you for tuning in. That's the main key, because if we gave them a first round pick and they gave us their first round pick, they're not a good team right now. And most likely they're going to end the season as one of the bottom teams, which means their pick most likely will be a lottery. Our first round pick is not going to be a lottery pick if everything goes the way it should. So the chances of getting a much better player are really high if we get their pick. So it's kind of like a swap of first round picks, Knox and Burks for Dort. That's what I would want. I just threw the IQ in there because of the fact that I think that wouldn't be the trade. I think the Knicks would want something else back too. So, and if that's the case, they would have to give up more. But, big task at hand. He said the second. Oh, man. Do I have New York European players today? Do we have New York European players? Oh, so are you saying if we have European players on the Knicks team? Yeah, I think we do. If that's what you're saying. I mean, have you not watched any of the Knicks basketball this year so far? The Knicks do have Evan Fournier. So that's someone. And we did draft Rokas Jokibitis, who is playing overseas right now. He's not with the team, but we still have his rights, and he's still a part of the Knicks, but he's playing overseas at the moment. So that's what's going on with that. And then Knicks 100, they was bugging talking about we got the best bench. They clearly must only watch Knicks games. Now, it's tough, man, because I still feel like our depth is the best depth compared to a lot of these teams. Is it number one? No, I don't know about that. Do I think it's top 5 in depth? Yeah. I mean, if I go down the list of names, right? RJ, Kemba, Fournier, Randall, Mitch, then you go Rose, Burks, whatever version of Quickly we're getting, Obi, Nerlens. Then you talk about Grimes and McBride, and like if you go through everybody, we got a really good deep roster. The point is, what's the point of having a deep roster if you can't use all of your assets, right? So then how what's the point? I don't get it. It's hard to kind of point to that if we're not using everybody either. No, but I hear you, Knicks 100. There's deep teams. Yes, I agree. And what I'm saying is that we might not be number one, but I think we're in the top 5 as far as a deep team. Is our bench better than a lot of benches? Maybe not as good as we thought. Or at least they're not playing as good as we thought. And I think that might have something to do with the fact that we don't have that same type of defensive intensity. And we don't have those switches. Having guys like Bullock on the team and, that other guy, having those guys on the team definitely helped. And when they weren't starting, they were coming off the bench or coming in with the second unit. So it provided that same defensive presence. We don't have any of that right now. And we're not using, the rookies for whatever they're here for. We brought Grimes in because he could play defense, and he was a really good knockdown shooter. We need both. Actually, we need both parts of Grimes right now. We're not seeing any of that because he's not getting a chance to play. McBride we brought in because we thought he could be someone who could help lock down opposing point guards. We're getting killed by point guards. McBride's not playing, so we can't point to that. Salute. Okay, yeah, that sounds like a better trade. Personally, I want a blockbuster trade like Cat. I didn't want a Cat trade before because I feel like Cat will upset the balance of this team. Like right now, we look at this team and we see it as Julius's team. He's the big, the big offensive piece for us. And then secondary might be RJ. That might be what it's turning into be. It's not quite solidified yet. RJ's got to show that he's here to stay. So we need like 15 or 20 games of RJ doing what he's doing now for us to say, okay, well, nothing's changing. So RJ's definitely here now. So we got to see that first. So I thought that bringing in Cat would upset a lot of that. Plus the fact that, Mitch, at the time of a lot of these trade talks with Cat, Mitch was still an unknown. He wasn't healthy. He wasn't playing yet. And now that he's been playing, we haven't seen the best of Mitch. Have we seen the worst of Mitch? Maybe. But we haven't seen the best of Mitch yet. And that is what keeps me kind of holding on. Like, we know he's not an offensive player. I would love to have a guy come into the Knicks that can give us a little bit of both, some defense and definitely some offense from the center position. But I don't know if I'm willing to let Mitch go because if you bring in Cat, Mitch is gone. I don't think there's any way Minnesota is going for getting rid of somebody like Cat and not getting back a big to help deal with their lack of size when they get rid of Cat. And they're not getting Julius because the Knicks aren't going to trade Julius for Cat. I just don't think it will happen. So you're talking about a blockbuster deal, which would consist of Mitch, and then who knows who else. IQ could be a piece that would definitely go in that, but would they want him? Picks would definitely be involved in that. Burks would go in that because of money, because you got to kind of help make up for the contracts that whatever Cat's making. And who knows what else would happen. I mean, if I was Minnesota, I'd want Mitch and RJ and whoever else I deem is going to help my team. But yeah, you want a lot. And that may not even be enough with picks. Maybe they want more. I mean, Cat is a star player, all-star every year. And you know what he gives you. So I don't know. Naruto. It's tough. Well, yeah, guys, I I'm pretty much going to wrap up. I didn't want to stay on too long tonight because, like I said, I got a really late start. I wanted to get on about an hour earlier or so, if that. But there's just too much going on, and I'm pretty tired myself, man. So, um, Knicks 100 says Mitch and IQ for Wiseman from Golden State. I said it last year. It makes most sense, and both teams win, in my opinion. Mm. It's not horrible. That is not horrible. I like that Wiseman gives you what this Nick team would need. Problem is, it's really tough when you have these young players that come into the league and already have injury history. Uh, like, and that just worries me. You know, Wiseman gets hurt, at least so far. You know, in his young career, he's been getting hurt a lot. I don't know. I don't know. That's tough because I would hate for the Knicks to make a trade like that and then get Wiseman, and Wiseman's always hurt. He's basically like another Mitch, and worse because he's been out for longer. I think probably a longer period of time. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know, but I like the idea of that Wiseman trade because Golden State will be fine without him. They don't really need him. So that I can see them being willing to move him. That's tough, but I'm gonna think about that because that's interesting. I may do some little research about that Knicks 100 because I liked Wiseman, um, you know, before the draft and when he came out and Golden State got him. I was a little confused because I was like, I don't know, is Wiseman the good fit for their offense and what they like to do? I wasn't sure he was, um, but as a player, I like what he brings to the table. So we'll do a little recognizance, do a little research into this Mr. Wiseman, because my whole thing is I love to be able to get one of these bigs that can score and keep Mitch, man. If there's some way to kind of pull that off where we could bring in a big that can score and give us those points that we lack when Mitch is out there from the center position and still keep Mitch for his defense and what it will become. Because I tell you, man, I've seen this stuff bite teams in the past. The Knicks trade or get rid of Mitch right now, and 20 games from now, Mitch will be balling out. And you'll be like, whoa, what's going on? Why wasn't he doing that with us? Well, because we didn't give him enough time to get himself, together. Like, it's one thing to know that you want to do certain things on the court. It's another thing to be able to do it. And Mitch still needs some time to get himself right. He's just right now. It's tough. We're gonna have to weather the storm and deal with what's going on with him, man. Yeah. So we'll see what happens, guys. But the Knicks play the Bucks tomorrow night. Um, the Bucks will still be shorthanded, even though Portis will be there. Um, so maybe we'll still have some type of an advantage. We're starting to get healthy. I think Taj will be playing tomorrow as well. So we'll have Taj and Nerlens, and we'll have Mitch, and the rest of the units is out there. So I think we're pretty good. We're pretty solid. And maybe Nerlens will have a little better game than he had yesterday because it'll be one more game under his belt. He'll start to get a little bit more comfortable. I still don't think that's enough for Nerlens. I'm just putting this out there. Nerlens needs about 5 games to start getting comfortable with the game speed again, and probably 10 games to truly get conditioned. And that goes in the same. That's the same thing for Mitch. Mitch has played. I don't know how many games Mitch played so far, but I know he hasn't played every game for us. We played 8 games now, so he didn't play in the Boston series. I mean, the Boston game. So, yeah, Mitch still needs a little time too. Another three or four more games for him. By that point, I think he should probably be where he needs to be, and he'll get better as down the line. But I think that should kind of put him where he needs to be as far as game speed goes. So, all right, guys. Well, definitely thanks for tuning in. I know it's late. I appreciate y'all staying up. Whoever is still here, thanks for tuning in. Like I said, I apologize for coming on a little later than I would like to, but next time we'll see if we can get this happening a little earlier. Once again, stay tuned. Still Knick Fans is going to continue to bring you content. Hopefully it's good content. Hopefully you appreciate it and you like it. I'm going to be doing another post game, probably if not tomorrow night, then Saturday morning about last night's game. Then we'll have our regularly scheduled show that we do on Mondays. I think if the Knicks play on Monday, which I think they do, then we'll probably do what we did this week. We'll record the show on Monday, and then it'll premiere on Tuesday night, probably after the Queen's Court. And then we have the new show on the NBK Nothing But Knicks Network, which is called the NBA Report. That'll be next Thursday at 8 p.m., and we'll be doing an Eastern Conference breakdown, as well as talking about our Knicks and how those teams and what they got going on affects the Knicks and what we should be looking for with our schedule that's coming up during that time. So it'll be a new show on the NBK Network, giving us a little bit more of a deeper look at some of the other NBA teams in the Eastern Conference. So definitely stay tuned and take a look. Take a look at what we got going on. We're just going to keep trying to give you, more and more content, and hopefully you guys are with us for the ride, because we are Knick fans, and things are going to get better, guys. Things are going to get better. We'll be all right. Did he? Oh, okay. My fault. Knicks 100. I didn't know if he played in Boston. Did he? Because I really don't remember him out there. Maybe he did. Yeah, I don't remember him playing in Boston. That's weird. Well, either way, Boost Mobile, salute, man. Sorry, I'm getting out here a little early, because got a late start and I'm tired. Scotty P, looking forward to some more Still Knick Fans content. Tell a friend to like and subscribe. Yes, sir, Scotty P. I appreciate you. Thank you. And he basically just said it. I was going to say the same thing, but thank you, Scotty P, for handling that. Definitely tell a friend to tell a friend who tells another friend. And like, comment, and subscribe. Yeah, and guys, definitely give us those comments, man. Give us your feedback. If there's anything that you want to talk about on the next show, or if you guys got comments about the post game, I'm gonna try to do a post game after every show unless something crazy happens. Pull it out there. Let us know, and we'll talk about it. We appreciate your feedback. We love to hear from you all. Thank you, Boost Mobile. Yeah, definitely hit that like, y'all. Appreciate y'all. So y'all have a great night. Hopefully, like I said, tomorrow night's game is a much better product from the Knicks. We already know we've got a little bit of an advantage personnel wise. We need to go out there, and I think we need, if Tibbs is listening, I know he's not. Tibbs, use as many guys as you can, and let's run up and down the court on these Milwaukee Bucks. I know Giannis likes to run, but the rest of that team is not Giannis. Let's run them out the building. Let's get all 5 of our starters going, get our bench going, and if we have to, put a couple of these young guys in there and just let them run. Let's push the pace. Let's get the pace up, because that's what we need, man. The pace creates offensive opportunities. Everything Indiana shut down was because we didn't have good pace. If we're moving the ball, getting out in fast breaks, transitions, that's what's going to help our offense. That's going to create easy shots for us, and that's going to give us wide open shots around the perimeter when we move the ball. That's the fix, guys. That's the fix for our offense. That's the question that I opened with. That's the answer. This is what we need to do. We do that, everything will work out. Damn. Knicks 100, man. He played 34 minutes in Boston, right? He didn't play in the preseason. Yeah, okay, got it. And the funny thing, Knicks 100, if you don't know already, I was at the game. My memory's not that great, man. I'm about what you did for me yesterday and today. What happened 4 or 5 days ago or 2 weeks ago or whatever. I don't remember that well. So thank you, brother. Hey, listen, man. This is why I appreciate you being here, bro. You keep me right, keep me straight. Tell a friend, guerrilla marketing. Let's get it. Yes. Oh, he's listening. Tell a friend who tell tips. Yeah. Yes, sir, Scotty P. If you know Tibbs, let him if you know Tibbs, let him know about the show. We drop jewels on here, okay? Let's go, Boost Mobile. Let it be known, man. Let it be known. Oh, man, I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a great night. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Take it easy. Let's go, Knicks.